pointing out inconsistencies of Republicans to Republicans doesn't matter. They don't care. Trump issues cryptic warning about big trouble ahead of Supreme Court ballot decision. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? This is amazing. You guys, listen to me. There is so much contradiction happening in just this little 1 minute slice. Okay, so we're going to watch the Donald tell us exactly why he shouldn't be taken seriously. It's great.
They're saying, oh, Trump owns the Supreme Court. He owns it. He owns it.
No one is saying this. No one is saying Trump owns the Supreme Court. We're suggesting that because you put them there, you expect them to do what you tell them. Like a mob boss, the Trump boss. We're upset that you put ideologues there and expect them to carry out your will. They're supposed to be neutral. But he continues.
They make a decision for him. It will be terrible. It'll ruin their reputations. He owns the Supreme Court. He put on 3 judges. He owns the Supreme Court. If they rule in his favor, it will be horrible for them. And we'll protest at their houses, and we'll do all of the things that you see.
He doesn't want you to protest a government decision that you don't like. Think about that for a minute. He did Jan 6. He supports the people of January 6th today. It's January 6th, and he is telling us not to protest the government doing things we don't like. But he does that a lot, and he tells all his people to do it. He tells his fans to do exactly that.
And that puts pressure on people to do the wrong thing. What they're doing is no different than...
pressure on people to do the wrong thing. Donnie, my man, that's what you did 4 years ago on Jan 6. You put pressure on people to do the wrong thing. My man, you're out of your mind.
And Bobby Knight, they're playing the ref. I watched that. I said,
and then he compares us.
They're playing the ref. I watched that.
He's comparing liberals to Bobby Knight, who was a very loud sports ball coach. He was a basketball coach. When the ref did a good thing, a correct thing, Bobby Knight would yell in his face and just get right in his face and scream at him so that they would be scared to make the right call against him, which is what Donald Trump does all fucking day. That's what he does every day. That's what his fans do. That's what his Jan 6 people did. They went and they screamed in the referee's face so that the referee would make the wrong call. This is your entire modus operandi, Donald Trump.
I said, man, they're really good. They're really good at it. And I just hope we get fair treatment, because if we don't, our country's in big, big trouble. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? I think so. Because they'll cover that completely differently. They'll cover that in...
Okay. If we don't get fair treatment, what does Donald Trump mean by fair? He means get what I want. He doesn't know what the word fair means. He doesn't think of neutrality as being fair. He thinks that him getting what he wants is fair. He is brain broken. He's got conservative mind poison. Conservative mind poison suggests that fair is when you get what you want. That's the definition of fair that he's using here. And then we're going to go into threatening, which is what he just came out against. The man hates threatening the officials at the beginning of this sentence, and at the end of the sentence he wants his fans to go threaten the officials.
They'll cover that in a much different manner, but I'm just saying it's a very unfair situation that takes place. So
okay, wait, I missed this bit.
And they're saying, oh, because they'll cover that completely differently.
The news will cover it completely differently. Johnny, my man, the news will cover what happened. And if you lose, he doesn't want them to cover it as if him losing. He wants them to cover it as if it were unfair to him. This is amazing. This is 1984 shit. All the way. So I'm going to play the whole thing, and I'm not going to interrupt it this time.
And they're saying, oh, Trump owns the Supreme Court. He owns it. He owns it. If they make a decision for him, it will be terrible. It'll ruin their reputations. He owns the Supreme Court. He put on 3 judges. He owns the Supreme Court. If they rule in his favor, it will be horrible for them. And we'll protest at their houses, and we'll do all of the things that you see. And that puts pressure on people to do the wrong thing. What they're doing is no different than Bobby Knight. They're playing the ref. I watched that. I said, man, they're really good. They're really good at it. And I just hope we get fair treatment, because if we don't, our country's in big, big trouble. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? I think so. Because they'll cover that completely differently. They'll cover that in a much different manner. But I'm just saying it's a very unfair situation that takes place. So
yeah, okay, that is just awful. Yeah, you're right. I don't own them. It's just healthier for them to side with me and do what I tell them to do, like a mob boss. Exactly. We're not suggesting that you owned them, Donnie. We're suggesting that it's wrong for your supporters to be on that court, and you have supporters on that court. You do. Justice Thomas, his wife, his literal human wife for many, many years, was working her ass off to make Jan 6 happen. She was. Ginny Thomas, wife to Clarence Thomas, was involved in Jan 6. He's always been a mob boss, that's right. And because she was working on that, Clarence Thomas should recuse himself, but he won't because he's crooked as fuck. And he doesn't care. Pointing out inconsistencies of Republicans to Republicans doesn't matter. They don't care about being inconsistent. They don't care about the doing one thing and then saying another. They don't mind. They don't care. They'll point it out when Joe Biden does it. The inconsistencies, the imagined hypocrisy of Joe Biden is a mortal sin. But the actual hypocrisy of Republican lawmakers does not matter. Imagined hypocrisy of Dems, important. Actual hypocrisy of Republicans, nobody cares. They don't care. They don't mind. It's just a game. Who cares? Then, dude, playing the refs, getting in the referee's face and screaming so that they will agree with you is exactly what happened on Jan 6, and for it if it benefits him. Donald Trump has no ethics. He has no principles. He wins, and he will do whatever it takes to make him win. If that means riling people up and making them scream in the face of the referees, that's what he'll do. If he loses, he will tell his people to go scream in the ref's face, just like Bobby Knight. If he loses this court case in the Supreme Court, he will push for his followers to go and protest at their houses. He will. And he will forget, and all of his followers will not watch this little video that he made. They won't see it, because they'll be right. You see, it's okay to protest at the Supreme Court if they're wrong. If you feel like they're wrong, it's okay to protest that. But if you feel like they're right, the other side is breaking the rules by doing so. It's very, very one-sided. Also, not having to face accountability exacerbates the attitude. Yeah, if I'm wronged, I'm allowed to go and protest. If you're wronged, you need to get over it and shut the hell up. He's the most political person in the world, because politics is based on feelings. I keep saying it over and over and over and over again. Politics is all based on feelings, even yours, even mine, all of them. Every political stance is based on feelings. He feels like it's unfair against him, so he will build his politics off of that feeling. The people who follow Trump feel like the system has not worked out for them, and so they are fighting against it. They feel left out. They feel spiteful towards the people who disagree with them, and so they will build all of their policies on that feeling. So that is what the policies do. That's the direction their policies go. They feel like the system hasn't worked out for them recently, and it scares them to think it will continue. Yeah, they have lost their edge. They have lost their first place position. It used to be that straight white men are in the number one top of the pyramid. But if other people start moving up the pyramid, it makes them nervous. It makes them insecure. And in their insecurity, they reach out for someone they don't truly understand, like Donald Trump. Oh, hi. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. The algorithm loves it when you watch it all the way to the end of the video. If you want to keep the algorithm happy, and I know you do, press the subscribe button, press the thumbs up button, leave a comment, tell me what you're thinking, tell me what you're feeling, and let's all keep that algorithm happy. Thanks. Have a good day.